Welcome back to Broken Electronics. I'm Lee, and I'm so glad you could stop by today for this little excursion into the world of older Macs. We're going to be continuing today with the series that I began recently on Mac Minis. You may remember, of course, the introduction of both the 2012 quad-core i7 and the 2014 dual-core i7s. I had said at that point that I would start with the 2012 and go basically in chronological order in doing the upgrades, leading to the final comparison between the two. I, of course, lied. What happened was that I made the USB installer using OpenCore Legacy Patcher because we were going to install Ventura. But I installed the OCLP EFI for the 2014. So rather than redo that, I think we'll just go ahead and do the 2014. It's also quite a bit the easier of the two upgrades. At least I hope so. I have never actually done it. In fact, I'd never owned a 2014 before I got this. So if you're interested in seeing how this procedure goes and exactly what we're going to be doing, please stay tuned. Okay, materials needed for this upgrade. First of all, we have a 1 terabyte NVMe SSD. We have an adapter, which is the same adapter that I've used several times in MacBook Pros to increase the storage. All right. We have an iFixit screwdriver. This is currently fitted with the Torx 6 security bit, and contrary to what I've seen on a number of YouTube videos on this, these are not Torx 6 screws, they are Torx 6 security. And a plastic pry tool, aka spudger. Now, unlike the 2010 through 2012 Mac Minis, where you had two little indentations where you put your thumbs and then twist and the whole thing would just come right off. Very easy. We need this to get this darn cover off. And it does make a disconcerting popping sound. Okay, one more. All right. And now our circular cover is off. We can set that aside. There are actually 6 screws holding the antenna plate onto the body of the computer. Hopefully these will come out easily. Magnetized mat. So it's hopefully to keep the screws from rolling onto the floor where I'd have to spend the next 45 minutes trying to find them. Not that I haven't sometimes ended up doing that anyway. Okay. Yeah. Come on. Get in there. There we go. And those came out pretty easily. All right. Now, we have these, these 3 smaller screws. And that's coming out pretty easily. So far, so good. I mean, I didn't really know for sure what to expect with this. I know from the outside, it's difficult to tell the 2014 from the 2011 and 2012, but inside, it's quite different. Okay. And now, You want to be careful in lifting this because the antenna cable is still right in there. Okay, now here you see the existing 256 gig SSD. That is where the mini PCIe is located, and then a ribbon cable that is taped down or glued down onto the top of where the hard drive or 2.5-inch SSD would be if they had such a thing. And there is one screw. And that's not a T6, or T6 security. Okay, so I'm going to have to go through the bits and find the one that will work. Stay tuned. Got it. It's a T2. There we go. Okay. Now with that screw removed, out this comes. All right. Now we can take our adapter and the adapter goes in. Now this was something I was wondering. When I get this in, no, I am not going to be able to get that screw to go back in. That's unfortunate. Okay, I have another plan. Stay tuned. Okay, these heat sinks are made by a company called Glow Trends. You can get them on Amazon. They're quite inexpensive. They come with adhesive thermal pads. So I took a couple of those, cut them to fit, and that should adhere the SSD down, we hope. Okay, there's that. Slide that in. And that's not thick enough because that standoff is getting in the way. Okay, we'll be at this a bit more. Stay tuned. Okay, I put a couple more in there, and that is now secured. With that, we can close it up. I don't think you need to watch me put the screws back in. Stay tuned. Well, okay, I connected it up. I have connected a 2.5-inch SATA SSD with Monterey on it, which I had made for another project. It's booting very slowly, but then again, this SATA SSD is connected via USB 3, which would tend to boot slowly. I was a little surprised it didn't chime, but we shall see. Boy, is this slow. I'll spare you. Okay, that booted up without issue. That's not a good sign. Leave me alone. Okay. Leave me alone. It's not seeing it. It is. Leave me alone. It is not seeing it. Let's look in disk utility. I'm quite sure that I have initialized that drive. Yeah, and all we're seeing here is the external. Okay, I guess we go back in and try to find out what's wrong, don't we? Stay tuned. Okay, let's try again. Light went on. Still not chiming for some reason. I was just about to stop this when the apple appeared. I don't know why the machine has stopped chiming. It was originally. Well, I've known a lot of computers to do that. Yeah, obviously booting off this USB connected SSD is not the way to live your life. See, I know what'll happen. I'll pause the video, yeah, and this will happen. It'll suddenly boot up. Okay, here we go. Oh, computers hate me. Okay. Will you cut that out? Okay. Still not showing. Okay, I had thought it would be fixed. And the reason I thought that was that the adapter was not making good contact. So I put the adapter in all the way, put the SSD in, and it's still not showing. Okay, back to the drawing board. Stay tuned. Okay, yeah, the machine doesn't chime anymore, and I don't really know why, but I'll worry about that one later. Again, as I said earlier, I have had machines that just do that and then magically suddenly just start chiming again. Okay, so the slow boot process. Man, man, is this slow. And when we get off this USB connected OS, that should be solved. He said, hopefully. Any day now, it'll start to move along. Yep. And we should get a boot very soon. Okay. There I am with my base. And there it is. Oh, good lordy. Mac Mini, all of that. Our startup disk. And there it is. Silicon Power SSD, 1 terabyte available, 1.02 terabytes available. Okay, so the problem. The SSD I was trying to put in died. The last time I opened it up, I took it out and put it into a USB adapter, plugged it in, and it just didn't show up. So I'm using another SSD, which I happen to have. Yay. Okay. Now to clean up some loose ends from earlier in the video, when the adapter and the NVMe SSD are both securely connected, the adapter into the Apple connector and of course the SSD into the adapter, then that screw that goes into the standoff to secure it works perfectly. So there was no need to try that trick of taping it down. And that's working fine. Now, was there anything else? No, that's the primary thing. Now, I had intended, first of all, I thought this was going to be a very straightforward, smooth, easy video, and I was just going to go ahead and install Ventura using OpenCore Legacy Patcher. I don't think that's a good idea right now. Just from the standpoint of I've made a number of lengthy videos recently. I'm trying to keep the videos somewhere between 15 and 25 minutes. I haven't been very good at that, but hopefully we will succeed. So I think what's going to happen, I'm going to end the video here, and the installation of the OS is going to have to be a separate video. That being the case, be good to other people. They need it and deserve it. Be good to me. I kind of need it right now. I've been fighting with this. Any good that we do in this world has to start with you being good to yourselves. So be good to yourselves. We will make the world a better place it isn't yet, so please take very, very good and careful care. Okay, I'm not sure. Next up is either going to be the upgrades on the 2012 Mini. I'm kind of leaning to that. And if I do that, that's a more involved process, so that may be a video in and of itself. Then maybe combine the OS installations on those two machines into one video. That's a possibility. I may change my mind. Okay, and a lot of other things soon available. So until those things are up and available on the channel, this has been Broken Electronics.